Janani Sharada Devi Ramakrishna Jagadgurum Padapadme Tayo Shritva Pranamami Muhurmuhu. We will continue with the Gospel. Advice to the householders. It was 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Kedar was very happy that day, having arranged a religious festival for Sri Ramakrishna. A singer had been hired by Ram, and the whole day passed in joy. The master explained to the devotees the secret of communion with God. Master, with the realization of Satchidananda, one goes into Samadhi. Then duties drop away. With the realization of Satchidananda, one enters into Samadhi. This is what we were seeing. Sat Chit Ananda. Existence, consciousness, Chaitanya. Sat Chit. Chit means Chaitanya. Consciousness, we don't have an equivalent term in English. So we use the term consciousness with C capital to distinguish from the consciousness which medical people and commonly used term of consciousness. It is better we translate it always in Indian terminology regarding the transcendental aspects of existence, which has not come into the Western thought world. The transcendental realm, the Atman, the Brahman, beyond the universe, beyond our bodily and mental existence, this has not come into picture. So we see the world in a different version. Everything what we see in this world as Indian or as Hindu is in the background of God as the absolute, that is impersonal absolute, and sometimes in the personal aspect of God. Beyond this, we have the view. In West, whatever they refer to is with respect to the physical world visible to senses and mind. So the transcendental aspect has not come. Maximum understanding is there is something called God, the heaven, and that's all. The existence, the pure existence, Sat, independent of all that we see, perceive through the senses and mind, conceive through the mind. Beyond that, the concept. Sat means existence, which is the basis of all that we perceive through in the realm of time and space. The time and space appears in that existence and disappears. This existence cannot be explained. It is something like mirror. All that you see in the mirror is just an image. All this image has existence because mirror exists and it is borrowed existence of mirror. Whatever images we see in the mirror, they don't have existence of its own. Otherwise, we could have taken out one by one of the images what we see in the mirror. We can't take out because it is mirror's existence. Similarly, the time and space and the entire universe, millions of universe, Anantakoti Brahmanda, they appear and disappear in which it appears. that pure existence which is beyond time and space. There is no matter. It is pure consciousness. In Chaitanya Sagara, in existence, Sat Sagara, Chit Sagara, Ananda Sagara. It is bliss, Ananda. It exists. And we see this book exists, I exist. These are borrowed existence. It doesn't have its own existence independent of the whole universe with all we beings is an appearance in the absolute. It is, God is appearing as this universe. The mirror, in the mirror, whatever image you see is an appearance. Ocean, in the ocean, wave you see is just an appearance. Name and form it has taken. It is ocean. Except ocean, nothing is there. We see it as waves as if they are different from the ocean. Look at that wave. Look at this wave. It's all part of ocean. Wave cannot be there without a ocean. Ocean can be there without a wave. Wave belongs to the ocean. Ocean doesn't belong to the wave. Like that, the whole universe and all beings are manifestation of that Brahman, the Absolute. That Sat, Chit, Ananda, with which the whole universe is made to appear. All these jivas, we are all made to appear in that, like wave appearing in the ocean. We are that, but we have a distinct identity but no difference. Distinction without difference. Just like ice and water. Water is ice. Except water, nothing is there in ice. But ice is distinct from water. It is not different from water. Like that we are. And that which is eternal, unchanging reality, in which all this appear and disappear. Time and again in cyclic order. Waves come and go, but ocean is eternal. When the wave come to know, ripple come to know, I am the ocean. When it becomes aware of, recognizes, its wave is aware of itself. Ripple is aware of itself. When ripple is aware of the ocean, when the wave is aware of the ocean in such a way, it identifies and dissolves in the ocean. Its name and form it gives up and thinks itself to be a part, inseparable part of the whole. The whole cannot be without part and part cannot be without whole. It is one entity, appearing as part and whole. So when this wave identifies, it forgets its own individuality, which was just a delusion. I am a separate wave of this ocean. I am a wave and there is the ocean behind me was a delusion. Wave with forgetting the ocean was greatest delusion. So when the wave understands, oh, I am ocean, and overcomes the wavehood, forgets the wavehood, and understands, I am ocean, then wave has realized the ocean. Like that, when Jiva realizes a Satchidananda, he enters into Samadhi. When the wave forgets that I am wave and identifies the ocean, it is in a state where it is experiencing infinite bliss and joy because it is ocean now. It had separated and it is being tossed in the ocean. That wave is being tossed. It was experiencing Sukha Dukkha. Now it forgets Sukha Dukkha. Oh, it was all a dream. A wave was a dream. My Sukha Dukkha was a dream. Nothing was real. Name and form was unreal. When I was wave also, I am the ocean. When I am dissolved in the ocean also, I am the ocean. Again, if I form, again, still I am the ocean. I can never be separated from ocean. I was never separate from the ocean. This is realization. After this state of awareness in which it totally remains identified with the Satchid. That is why the Thakur uses the term Satchidananda. When one realizes Satchidananda, he is in Samadhi. What is Samadhi? There is no name and form, but only bliss, absolute ocean of bliss, peace, love, absolute. So it is filled with love and dipped in love. It is filled with bliss and dipped in bliss and overpowered by bliss. It is peace dipped in peace, experiencing peace. So this is a state where name, form and movements, action is dissolved and it identifies. It is a state in which it comes to the reality, Satya, truth. I was a wave was only a false dream. I am ocean is the reality. So when Samadhi, the term Samadhi, well established, some adhi, dha is to place. Samadhaya, having placed firmly and clearly, without any doubt, without any shaking. It is firm and clear and firm understanding that I am bliss absolute. It is being bliss, covered by bliss, enveloped by bliss, dipped in bliss, and experiencing bliss alone. So that state is called Samadhi, in which the universe, the Maya, whatever we call time and space, the name and form, the movements, action, all this is dissolved in that one understanding, supreme knowledge. That is Satchidananda. When you are experiencing that Satchidananda, you are in Samadhi, a state where there is no dukkha, there is no bondage, no more suffering. You are eternally in the bliss absolute. So, with realization of Satchidananda, one goes into Samadhi, then duties drop away. When you know you are ocean and bliss absolute, what duties, what for? What through duties and actions, through work and movement, what would you have got? What for? In and through all our activities in this world, what are we ultimately seeking? Is peace, happiness and freedom that you have got. What makes you move anymore? What more duties you have in this world when you know you are the ocean? Now, a wave, what does it think or matter? What does it understand? What duties it has when it knows I am ocean? No more duties. Duties drop away. It is not giving up the duties. It cannot do. It just dissolves the existence. Now, there is no motivation. There is nothing forcing you to work on duties. you will be in the ocean of bliss and no more duties have fallen down, dropped off. Suppose I have been talking about Ustad and he arrives. What need is there of talking about him then? How long does the bee buzz around? So long as it is not sitting on a flower. But it will not do for a sadhaka to renounce duties. He should perform his duties such as worship, japa, meditation, prayer and pilgrimage. Now the duties, Sri Ramakrishna is calling, till the duties drop away by itself by realization. What are we seeking in and through all our activities? Is bliss, that is Ananda Sukha, freedom and peace. When these are gone, what is the motivating force for you to do? You don't have karmic bondage. Karma was making you do. Now you don't have, you are free from karma. You are a realized soul. You are in the ocean of bliss. When you are, can you works when you are in sleep? No, you can't work when you are in sleep. Similarly, when you are in a realized state of realization, when you are realized, you can't work anymore. Only thing, Sri Ramakrishna gives the example of getting a baby. After getting a baby, it's busy with the baby. Like that. Here, but as a sadhaka is when we are aspiring for that knowledge, that Satchidananda. Realization, as a sadhaka is expecting or aspiring for realization. After realization, work drops away. But while still in the stage of seeking liberation, seeking knowledge, seeking realization, that period before realization, you can't give up your duties. All duties of life you have to do and then go ahead with. And then simultaneously you attend to the sadhana. Then slowly, once you are getting established sadhana, convert the whole life into sadhana by divinizing yourself. So, you cannot give up the duties, but make the duties an offering to God. God has placed you in that particular state, giving those particular activities to be fulfilled. Finish those things in your life. So, how long does the bee buzz? Till it is not sitting on a flower. How long do we work? Till we realize God. The whole purpose of human existence and life is to transcend nature and go beyond. After having crossed over the nature and landed in the another realm, transcendental realm, you cannot and you need not do any activities. But what you will not do for a sadhaka to renounce the duties. This is an important teaching of all saints, Bhagavad Gita, like scriptures, and also Sri Ramakrishna is again reinstating this statement that you cannot renounce the world or you cannot renounce your duties of life till give up your duties of life till you reach a particular state. He should perform his duties such as worship, japa, meditation, prayer and pilgrimage, his day-to-day duties, if they are still pending, it becomes a part of worship. It is no more duties. Suppose he has a child and he is engaged seriously in spiritual practices, earning for that child, bringing up that child, teaching, sitting, spending a lot of time for its evolution. Everything he has to offer to the divine as his worship. So things like worship, pilgrimage, japa, dhyana, all these should not be given up. The physical activities other than the spiritual practices we convert into a sadhana. If you see someone engaged in reasoning even after he has realized God, you may liken him to a bee which also buzzes a little even while sipping the honey from the flower. Sometimes as soon as the bee sits, it doesn't sit quietly. Sometimes intoxicated. See the babies, mother suckling the baby. Baby will be silently sucking the mother's milk. Sometimes it will be laughing, sometimes it will be kicking with legs. It will be moving his hand. Most of the times it is busy in sucking. Like that bees also, while taking is Sri Ramakrishna giving the example of bee, even when he is immersed in this one, in God, being immersed in God, still he reasons. We can see Sri Ramakrishna now and then asking Divine Mother, Mother, why did you do like this? I asked you, you don't listen to my words. See how much he is undergoing suffering. All these talks are going on after realization. You work according to your own will. All this reasoning is going on. Why did you not do? Why did you why did you do like this? This reasoning is going on. If you see the reasoning, even after he has realized God, you may liken him to a bee, which also buzzes a little while sipping honey from the flower. The master was highly pleased with the Ustad's music. Music went on. It's a group of singers appointed by Rama, hired by Rama, sang. Very often we see these people, even sometimes we see in street here in India, people going with a harmonium hanging around the neck, another person going with a tabla hanging around his neck, tied to the waist. They play and go. Such a beautiful voice, such a nice way of singing. Sometimes you wonder, they're like beggars, they are moving in the street. What is this? Such a beautiful singing. Sometimes it will be opposite otherwise. So when many people used to come to Sri Ramakrishna, they used to bring and make them sing. Some will be excellent, that the bhava awakens in Sri Ramakrishna. Sometimes it will be neutral, sometimes it will be disturbing. So Ustad Sri Ramakrishna is very happy this group has nicely sung. When do we say a person has nicely sung? Is when he is in his own bhava, in his own emotions. He is expressing emotions. He is more keen on linking himself to God and reality than his profession of singing and pleasing someone. He is in his own. When a man forgets himself in singing, makes others forget themselves or get absorbed in it, either in meaning or in tune or something beyond. When a man forgets the as even a little, he has forgotten, he has come out of his normal way of thinking, seeing the world, his mind is busy with things. All this is calm down. Inner silence, inner stillness, in that he is hearing only music. A few moments also is sufficient. He appreciates. What could make me forget this world? What could make me forget my own duties and responsibilities, bondages of this world? He calls it very good, nice. Master was highly pleased with the Ostad's music. He said to the musician, "There is a special manifestation of God's power in a man who has the outstanding gift, such as proficiency in music." This, when even a single person sometimes enjoys your music, Sri Ramakrishna used to say that music is a grace of God. That God's participation, here he says, God's power in man. There is a special manifestation of God's power in a man who has outstanding gift, such as proficiency in music. If a person can sing nicely, if it pleases a few people, if people have no objection, but receive it gladly, you know that power of God has manifested in them. So this musician himself may not be knowing. All through his life he is thinking, I have practiced a little music. A few people I can sing before a few people may like it. Many may dislike, but a few people may like it. This much understanding alone a musician will have. Unless he is a professional music who possesses his own understanding of music, calculations, this, that and all. Otherwise, normal singers, they will have this much understanding that I am able to sing a few songs nicely. So this much, when this is there, they forget it is God's power making, singing, not even making me sing. It is manifestation of God's power in that. God is singing as if. God's power is singing. If God's power is utilizing that person's voice and thing. If they pay attention, if they recognize this, he becomes an instrument in the hand of God. He recognizes, I have no capacity, I have no, but God is utilizing this body and mind to make me sing. He is utilizing, he is singing as if that ego dissolves and the understanding God is singing. Now, for the first time perhaps, the musician is hearing there is God's manifestation of God's power making him sing. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.